Hi guys, I feel like I have not talked to you in a minute, but today we're gonna catch up on a lot of things and we're gonna get real close and personal because I am showing you my bedroom makeover. If you're new to my channel, my name is Eshi, welcome, and I gotta do the YouTube thing for a quick second. If you don't mind liking this video, if you enjoy this content, and subscribe to my channel because I do a lot of DIYs and interior design, so if you're into that kind of thing, stick around. So we moved into this apartment a year and a couple months ago, and it has been a journey to put all the little pieces of this bedroom together, and if I'm being quite honest, I'm still not really done, but I figured I should at least show you the major progress that I've made in here. So first, let me take you through what this place looked like when we first moved in. So this is a 2-bedroom apartment, and this is the main bedroom. So it has a bathroom and a walk-in closet connected, so super lucky to have that kind of space. And it is a fairly large bedroom. I think it's like 12 feet by 10 feet, something like that. But maybe I was just spoiled, but our 1-bedroom in Detroit was actually a tiny bit bigger. So when I first saw this space and I saw that there was a corner window situation going on, there's only really one space the bed could go. And as you can see from the early shots, even when our mattress was on the floor and we were waiting for all of our stuff to be delivered from Michigan, that was right up against this wall behind me. Now this room gets amazing sunlight, like all year round. Granted, yes, we're in San Diego, so like lucky and blessed to have this kind of weather, but especially in the summertime, the sun sets right where you guys are and it sets directly into our eyes. Even during the winter, because it's San Diego, there is amazing sunlight all throughout the day. I kind of just wanted this room to be dark and moody because I felt like it could take it, because there was just always so much sunlight anyway. It wouldn't get too dark and too depressing. One of the first things I started with in this room was actually the rug, and it was the rug we used in our living room in Detroit, but let me show you. All right, well, apologies for the angle, but this is the best I could do. So this carpet is a little bit more traditional, I think, than what most people would go for. But I really like mixing a lot of different elements from a lot of different styles. Plus, I didn't want to waste a perfectly good carpet, and I actually really like the colors in this one. It has reds, it has this dark blue, which you will obviously see was a big inspiration of mine in here. It has some oranges, some light blues, and beige. So I figured this was a good starting point for a color palette for me. This color palette actually worked really well in our Detroit apartment too. And if you haven't seen our apartment tour, listen, every apartment I feel like I moved to is gonna be better than the last one. So please don't judge me too harshly on that Detroit apartment tour, but I'll leave a link here in case you're curious. It definitely had way more of a industrial feel, and that's not necessarily my vibe any longer, but go check it out. Maybe it'll give you some inspiration. Okay, so then we have the cheapo Amazon bed frame. I did toy around with getting like a nicer, maybe more substantial bed frame when we moved into this apartment, but to be honest, this works really well, and I kind of wanted to get more creative with creating a headboard of my own. So I just kept this from our old apartment. It's just literally like a metal frame. It has those wooden slots on top for your mattress to sit on. But the major pro tip here is if you live in an apartment and you are in need of storage space, which I feel like I can always use extra storage space, get you a bed frame that is higher off the ground, because let me show you the number of boxes we have shoved under this bed, and most people won't even notice when they walk into our room. I feel like that might have been a little embarrassing for me because we have so much shit stuffed under our bed, but I'm trying to keep it real with you guys. That's what you gotta do in an apartment. The next design choice I made was to go for these really wide nightstands. These are actually from IKEA. You've probably seen them before. They're pretty common, I think, but I think they do a good job of having like that wood look. and it's just black handle accents, which I appreciate. And a major plus with these nightstands is they're not actually nightstands, I'm just using them as nightstands. They're actually drawers, and they have so much storage in them. So another pro tip for you if you're living in an apartment, don't just get little nightstands, get full-on drawers for the sides of your bed. They work just the same. And honestly, when you go for that like oversized look, I feel like it's a statement. A good one, a bad one, you decide. The two nightstands and the bed take up the entire back wall, and it kind of looks stately. I liked the look, so we went with it. So I think the next and probably the biggest decision we made was to wallpaper the ceiling. I don't even want to know what kind of angle this is going to be. But originally, this wallpaper was actually going to go on the back wall. It's like an accent wall, which I have done before in my previous Detroit apartment, and I've also done it here in our guest bedroom. If you haven't checked out that makeover, I'll leave a link right here. I don't know if it was a fever dream or what, but one day I woke up and I was like, no, I'm not gonna make this easy on myself. I'm not gonna wallpaper a regular old wall. I'm gonna wallpaper the ceiling. And listen, I'm not gonna claim to be the first person to ever think about wallpapering a ceiling, but after I did this a year ago, I did notice a lot more pictures of people wallpapering their ceilings, so I'll leave it up to you to decide. I'll leave links to all of this stuff, especially the wallpaper, down in the description box, so make sure to check that out. I got this wallpaper at the same place I got the wallpaper for my guest bedroom. They make amazing designs, and the quality of their wallpaper is also pretty phenomenal. I did ask them to partner with me for a video, and they never responded, but you know, I'm not salty. Anyway, once I saw this pattern and saw that it had some of those blue and orange hues that the carpet had, it kind of made me want to just like go all in on the darkness of the blue and just make the patterns on the ceiling and on the floor. So that takes me to the rest of the design, which I kept as monochromatic as possible. As you can see by now, I'm not someone afraid of color. It's pretty obvious. And I'm not really shy of mixing patterns either. So I think that this wallpaper works really well with the carpet because it has some of the same colors in it. The orange in the wallpaper and the blue is kind of matched with the oranges and the blues in the carpet, but they are two big patterns. So I wanted to keep everything else really monochromatic. And again, I wanted to go for that really dark, moody feel and make this space feel really comfy and cozy and like almost cave-like. So I went for a really nice, rich, moody blue. I'll leave the link to the paint that I used in the description box. Honestly, it's vegan, it's cruelty-free, and they had really nice color selection, and that's why I went with it. But the color payoff, unfortunately, I was kind of disappointed by it. I have painted walls before, and like, you know, Behr or any other regular paints that you can get at Home Depot, they just are way more saturated on the first coat. Unfortunately, with this paint, I had to go 3 coats, like minimum 3 coats to get the color super even. So painting took a long time, and I kind of drove myself crazy with getting everything as nice and saturated as I possibly could. And because of the weird layout of this bedroom, in the fact that when you enter, the ceiling is a little bit lower and then you get to the main bedroom and the ceiling opens up, I wasn't exactly sure where to paint the blue versus where to not paint. So maybe you guys can let me know if I made the right decision. But basically, I just made this main section blue and I left like the little hallway part that leads to our closet and our bathroom white. I don't know, you guys tell me if I should go back and paint that little hallway section. So overall, I'm happy I chose this color. I'm not happy with the choice of the brand, unfortunately. So if you have any other vegan and cruelty-free and like, what is it called? Where like the smell isn't killing you, those kinds of paints, if you have a recommendation, let me know down in the comments below. So then we get to my choice of wall sconces. Again, you're gonna have to let me know what you think of this, because I went with these article sconces that can kind of like swing back and forth. To be honest, they do look a little alien-like. I see it. So it may not be your cup of tea, but I kind of liked like the black industrial feel and like adding it a tiny bit back into the space, because it was getting really like romantic feeling with the pattern of the wallpaper, with the traditional carpet and like the dark moody walls. I just wanted to add like a touch of like masculinity back in here. No complaints so far with the sconces. We have hit our head quite a few times on them because we forgot to like move them out of the way, but that's about it. It does create some nice moody lighting at night. And then if you have not seen it yet, I'll leave it linked here, but I did create these DIY headboards because it was another article headboard that I was actually looking at, and I really liked the look of like nice tall panels for a headboard, but I didn't want to pay the price. So check that out and see how I created these paneled headboard pieces. Worked out really, really nicely. Originally, I wasn't gonna keep the chromatic thing going and go with the blue fabric that I ended up doing. I was gonna do like another orange color to pull in the color of the carpet and the wallpaper. I don't know, something in me was telling me there's already too much going on, just keep with the blue, make everything blue in between the wallpaper and the floor. Again, you're gonna have to tell me if I made a good choice or not. And then finally we have the curtains, which is probably the latest addition to this bedroom. So this apartment came with like, you know, the boring blinds. They're not like blackout or anything, but they were doing the job. It was fine. But I really felt like to tie this whole space together to make the theme really pop, I decided to finish off the room with these curtains. Now, if you know me, you probably already knew that I did try to hang these curtains up by myself, but our ceilings are cement and I was having quite a bit of issue with drilling the holes into the cement by myself. So I used my handy dandy TaskRabbit, and there was a really, really sweet guy who came in and did all of the curtains for this bedroom and for the living room and kitchen. So I decided on the IKEA, like the railing system. I'll leave the links down below because I know I'm gonna butcher the name of that IKEA piece. It is relatively easy to like fit together, especially if you don't have cement ceilings. It'll be really easy for you to install them yourself. And then the curtains themselves are in this really, really dark blue. Again, I went for the monochromatic. They pretty much match perfectly with the headboard fabric that I used. They are blackout curtains and they work really, really well to keep us in bed for too long in the morning. So I don't know if it was a positive thing for us to use these. Now both the curtains and the headboard are in like this velvety or like jersey material, which is honestly not great for cat hair. They hold on to every piece of fur, so I do have to like regularly de-fur them, lint roll them, that's the right word. But they do look really, really nice, and they do a great job of taking care of all of the sunlight that comes in here. The other incredibly annoying thing about this room is that there are two heights of windows. So this one is the shorter window, and then we have larger windows in the corner section. So I had to get 2 different heights of this curtain. Again, I'll leave the links to the different heights I used down below. But I still, even with the 2 different heights, I had to hem these myself. Didn't take a video of me doing that because honestly, I wanted to die by the end of that process. It took so long. I used the iron-on like hemming tape that you can get from Amazon, from IKEA. I'll leave the link down below because I didn't want to sew and I didn't want to go give them to a tailor to hem the curtains, but man, I fully recommend you guys just getting it taken care of. If you can sew, fantastic. If you get it tailored, even better. Do not use the sew-on tape for these types of like really thick curtains. It takes forever and so many strips. But to give you an idea of how I had to do it, again, didn't film myself because y'all would have died of boredom. I just folded the curtain over onto itself and used hemming tape on the inside of like the sandwich of fabric, and I used multiple strips to hold these things together. Another quick tip for you, if you are planning out your bedroom, if you have space for a chair, get a chair. It's honestly a great space for you to relax and make a little cozy reading nook out of. It makes another great napping spot for your pets. I know mine love this one. And the best part about a chair in your bedroom is if you have a bunch of clothes on your bed and you need to go sleep in your bed, new spot for all the clothes to go on. I actually got this chair as a set of 2 of the same chairs for like 30 bucks on Facebook Marketplace, and it was like old and needed a redo, so I painted it black and white, made it more of my style, and now I have this one, and the other one's in the front where I did a front makeover. If you haven't seen that, I'll leave the link here. So this stand is kind of a carryover from our last apartment as well. It actually came with me from my parents' house when I moved out, so it's like an older looking stand, but I kept it at the entrance of our bedroom to keep our perfumes on, to just like drop our wallets off when we head to the bedroom, and it's worked out really well. The other annoying thing about apartment living, I don't know if it's like this for where you guys live, but there is barely any like overhead lighting. There is in the kitchen, but that's and the hallways, but that's pretty much it. Let me know if that's how your apartment is. With the 2 sconces on the wall by the bed, I still needed like an extra light source. So again, another carryover from our last apartment. I just added this lamp in here as a 3rd light source because we really needed it. And at the end of the day, you may have some not so pretty things you have to keep in your bedroom, aka a humidifier and air purifier, because I recently learned that I am allergic to the 2 cats I have, so without these I would die. And unfortunately, they are not the prettiest things in the world, but such is life, we move on. And at other times you have some not so practical things in your bedroom that just bring you joy, like an oversized plant that takes up most of your nightstand space, but it just makes you happy. And since you stuck around till the end, because you're a real one, here is a sneak peek of my closet. It is a fave space of mine, but not for the design. Thanks so much for sticking around, you guys. I hope you enjoyed my bedroom makeover / tour. If you did, please don't forget to give it a like and subscribe. It really does help me out like a lot. And seeing a comment from you guys, it really does make my day, and I try and reply to all of them. So if you like something in particular, don't forget to let me know. And as for that catch up between you and me, I started a new job, I cut off all of my hair, and I served in a 1.5 month long jury duty for a 4-person murder trial, which was quite traumatizing. So I don't know if you guys want a story time about that. Not to mention, I'm turning 30 in a month or so, so that's just, you know, looming over my head. I am planning a birthday party, so I'm hoping that'll be fun, but that has been giving me some anxiety, not gonna lie. But making videos and talking to you guys in the comments and finally getting monetized and moving to San Diego all within the last year has been incredible. So I have a feeling it's just gonna keep getting better. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will talk to you guys soon.